So this morning, the SGX Nifty is indicating a green start, but there are plenty of stocks to look at. There are some Nifty inclusions as well. So going to be a very interesting day of trade. Our research team is here to prepare you as always and to tell you what to expect. So let's welcome them on board. Hi guys, good morning. Anuj, what are you looking at today?
You know, Sonia, yesterday ICICI Bank was weak, but towards the end there was a fair bit of rally. So, for me, I'll watch out for two stocks. Actually three, because I spoke about Reliance already. But ICICI Bank and HDFC Bank, because if the market has to see short covering, then I think these would be the go-to stocks because that's where shorts are, the large banks. So let's just see, especially HDFC Bank. That's the one stock which is trying to put some kind of double bottom in place at 1020, 1030. So that would be a stock that I'd keep an eye on along with ICICI Bank.
All right. Point taken, Anuj. My sense is that the way in which the bond markets move may not affect HDFC Bank and ICICI Bank too much because they don't have extra bonds that they need to keep for SLR purposes. This is more public sector banks and NBFCs which might get impacted, but we'll come to that in a minute. I think one stock which everyone is going to watch is GMM Pfaudler, and a development which no one expected. Agam, tell us the spot news first.
Well, certainly a very interesting one, considering from what we understand is that GMM Pfaudler is going to buy a majority stake, that is 54%, in its parent Pfaudler Group. And this is going to be for $27.4 million, which comes to a little over 200 crore rupees. And well, the management says that this will be through a mix of internal accruals and debt. After the acquisition, this will make the company a global leader when it comes to corrosion resistance technology. And well, it is estimated as per the company that the consolidated revenues will stand around 2,000 crores with EBITDA coming in at around 250 crores. GMM Pfaudler's current annual revenues stand at a little less than 600 crores, so that will be a big leap when it comes to its revenues as well as operations. And what is the other interesting part here is that promoters family, Patel family, will also buy 26% separately in Pfaudler Group, so that also makes this particular acquisition particularly interesting.
Okay, Agam, thanks a lot for that. I don't. It's a couple of things which I'm not able to understand. One is 200 crores for a company with sales of 2,000 crores. I mean, that's 10%. And it's such a growing business. The stock has been what, a 50 bagger, 100 bagger, trades at 100 times price to earnings, 25 times price to book. Is easily the most expensive stock in India. Perhaps it's India's Tesla in terms of valuations. So is there any debt that is being taken on board? I don't know. My sense is that today the stock would be in the red because
until they get clarity.
Until we get the clarity. I think the con call is on Monday. I think till then, perhaps it's run up a lot. It's just been a phenomenal stock. There's absolutely no scope for any kind of error here. So that way, I would keep an eye on how the stock reacts today.
Well, two things. Agam spoke about the Patel family as well buying a stake in the global company. So if there is a reverse merger of sorts and the families taking a stake, then maybe the shareholding pattern of the Indian unit could also change.
I don't know. I mean, we will need to know on the answers on Monday.
I think SEBI should put in one rule. When you're making such an important market-moving announcement, the conference call can't be 3 days later because people could lose serious money. And maybe what the investor needs to know should be made known as soon as possible.
Okay, well, let's see. Let's hope SEBI is watching us right now and taking all this into notice. But let's do one thing. Let's hop across to Reema. She's tracking the IT companies. There's some latest news on the H-1B visa approvals. Reema, go ahead.
Thanks, Sonia, for that, and good morning. Well, the latest news is that the H-1B approvals have actually shot up in the June quarter, and it stands in excess of 95%. This is for the June quarter, so it is backdated, but this is the highest approval rate we've seen since Donald Trump became the president of the United States. And that figure will come up for you on your screen, how in the prior quarters it was hovering between 85 to 90%. A couple of factors could be at play here. One, remember on 22nd of June, Donald Trump had signed that executive order saying that H-1B visas till the end of the year would be suspended. So maybe the USCIS, which is the United States Citizen and Immigration Service, perhaps they look to expedite the remaining approvals just prior to that announcement and before the quarter ended. And secondly, we've also seen a lot of companies reduce the applications for H-1B visa given their focus on localization. But I think this news would go down well for the Indian IT majors.
Okay, thanks for that. Well, Nigel, the NIFTY changes that Anuj already referred to, can you put them all on the table?
Well, that's right. The changes will come effective come September 25th, and SBI Life Insurance and Divi's Laboratory will be coming in. Now, in terms of stock moves from their 52-week high, Divi's Laboratory has run up recently, so it's only around 3% away from there, while SBI Life is nearly around 17% away from its 52-week high. A quick point here, everyone was quite gung-ho on Divi's Laboratory, but I go with numbers. And if you look at the numbers, the average free float market capitalization for the past 6 months of SBI Life Insurance is higher than Divi's Laboratory. So actually, SBI Life Insurance, stood a better chance to come into the Nifty, though the street was more gung-ho on Divi's Laboratory. What's going out? Then you have Z Entertainment that's moving out, as well as Bharti Infratel. But as you all have been stating, a lot of selling has already happened. So let's see whether or not those stocks open up in the red. Otherwise, the entrants should move into the green. Back to you all.
Okay, thanks for that. Well, Rima, you have some more stocks that are in the news this morning. What does your list include?
Viatech Vibhag, where there is a board meeting on the 25th of this month where they will consider fundraising. Secondly, Indian Bank, where CRISIL has lowered the bond ratings on its rating on its bonds, citing that post amalgamation the asset quality metrics have deteriorated, so that could put some pressure on Indian Bank today. And finally, Phoenix Mills, earlier this week, remember we had said that they launched that 1100 crore QIP that has been successfully closed. Back to you.
All right.
Okay, thanks a lot, Rima, for that. Yes, Viatech Vibhag. In fact, Nimesh spoke about that in the dealing room chatter yesterday. He had picked up that buzz. But Sonal will tell us about some other results. Sonal?
Absolutely. Let me start with HCG. Weak set of numbers. The revenues have declined 28%. There's a margin compression, and also losses have expanded to 40 crores versus 11 crores on a YOY basis. Let's move on and talk about MOIL, where the EBITDA there was better than expectations because of an inventory adjustment. Margins came in at revenues declined 46% and margins came in at 31.65%. But what supports the stock is that cash right now is 50% of the market capitalization. Lastly, IOB, where profits have increased on a quarter-on-quarter basis at 120 crore rupees. Gross NPA ratio has also reduced on a quarter-on-quarter basis. Expect that stock to do well in trade today.
Okay. Well, let me wind it up. Thanks a lot, Sonal. Let me wind it up by saying that you could expect a lot of red or some red in the NBFC and PSU banking pack, maybe even realty stocks actually, because chances are the market will say yields are going to rise. I mean, Prasanna expects a 0.25% rise in the 10-year. And all bonds are priced off the government securities curve. Therefore, if money becomes expensive, the people whose raw material is money is who NBFCs. And then, of course, PSU banks, because they hold a lot of government bonds and the mark-to-market losses will be.
Okay, well, let's move away from equities for a bit and talk about the commodity space. Manisha Gupta, commodities editor, is with us to give us a quick roundup of all the action that's taking place there. Hi, Manisha. Good morning.
Morning, Sonia. Well, it is the U.S. jobless claims which have risen back above 1.10 million. That's weighing on the demand recovery. So you have the crude oil prices which have come under pressure. Also, the U.S. fuel demand is down 14% in the month of August on year-on-year basis. So there are concerns here, and is the reason $45 is just about holding in case of the Brent prices. In the metal sector, it's quite a mixed lot in Shanghai or Asia right now. You have copper and aluminum doing well because the LME inventories for these two metals have continued to decline. But lead and zinc have seen a surplus until now in 2020 as per the latest data. So these two metals have gone down for profit taking.
All right. Yeah, that I guess will cast some shadows on the Indian markets as well. But let's wait and see. It should be largely positive maybe.